And welcome everyone for Fantasy Wrestling Ideas episode number 8. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting into an idea that actually is a bit intriguing. I should have done this a bit sooner since it was this is kind of based off of the review on the Japan event that had happened with WWE, with Brock Lesnar being there and everything. And my friend and I were doing a review on that this past Sunday. And we were discussing about what happened at the event. And my friend Matt, mentioned about AJ Styles. Granted, because of the fact he is the IWGP champion in New Japan Wrestling, wouldn't it be an awesome idea if they would have had AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar go at it one-on-one? Now, I don't exactly have any ideas how they could make a good script on building this kind of matchup, but it would be a very intriguing one. And I'm going to get more into reasons why than talking about a script like I normally would do of how I would build this all up and everything into one big pay-per-view match. But the reason why this would be intriguing, number one, Brock Lesnar was in Japan this past Saturday, of course. Brock Lesnar has also been in Japan as an IWGP champion. The person that beat him was Kurt Angle, which was an outstanding match in 2007. If you haven't checked that match out, check it out on YouTube. I'm very certain they still have it on there. Brock Lesnar has had countless great matches with guys smaller than him. CM Punk, to name one of them. Trying to name off a few others. Can't quite think of their names right off the top of my head, but I mean, he had a great match with CM Punk. I think he'd have a great match with Daniel Bryan, of course. So I think that would be great altogether, because it would be interesting. They could bring in the idea, Brock Lesnar, the former IWGP New Japan Wrestling Champion, against the current IWGP Champion, and have the Bullet Club, defend AJ Styles against Brock Lesnar. Truthfully, I think that AJ Styles would be a better opponent for Brock Lesnar than Seth Rollins himself. Because AJ Styles has a hell of a lot better faction together. They got a lot more guys. You can make Brock Lesnar look even more of a badass with guys that are almost his size or close to his size. You got some really good wrestlers that aren't well known in the mainstream of professional wrestling here in the United States. But if you check out New Japan wrestling stuff, like Kenny Omega, he is a great wrestler. He's the junior heavyweight champion in New Japan Wrestling. So, I mean, they have some really great, outstanding wrestlers, and also Kenny Omega is part of the Bullet Club as well. And the Bullet Club faction is actually freaking awesome as shit. They're like an NWO, only they're not NWO type look. I mean, NWO is looked at as a gang of thugs who are also running their own wrestling association. And that's not how Bullet Club is. They're a gang of thugs, but they're not being looked at as another wrestling entity or anything like that. So in that aspect, it's a very smart move on New Japan's part of not doing something very similar to the NWO. Having them as their own entity or something like that. Having New Japan versus Bullet Club, I think that's just fucking retarded. But they're kind of like a Nation of Domination kind of thing, but only with a cooler style to it. So yeah, overall, I think it would be a great match, mainly because of the faction that AJ Styles has. He is an outstanding wrestler. He can do high-flying maneuvers like Seth Rollins. His character base is not a punk-ass bitch. He doesn't run away. He's not scared. he competes against anyone and everyone, and he'll cheat if he has to, but he won't run away like a coward. And that's what's good about AJ Styles' character. He still has like the old AJ Styles where he's all go, he'll kick your ass, and he'll fight. But he has an added in bonus where he'll win at any cost if that's what it takes to be the winner. And that's one thing I like about the new AJ Styles. He's not this smiley face, great wrestler. He's this down to earth, itty gritty, type of character that will do anything in his power to win if that means to cheat to win. And, some things in life, that's what you gotta do. You gotta cheat. If you can't win by doing it the fair way, and you gotta survive, that's what you do. But in this situation with, AJ Styles, he's an outstanding character. He's built this character into a really great look, and he's like a really great wrestler of a version of Hulk Hogan. If Hulk Hogan could be anything, he should have been AJ Styles. That's all I have to say about that. But it's kind of stretching it out a bit, but whatever. Personally, I think AJ Styles would be a great opponent for Brock Lesnar. He's a high flyer. He can do all sorts of different moves. It would be very interesting to see if he could do the Styles Clash on Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar, of course, he'd be taking him to Suplex City. So it'd be interesting to see how much of a beating AJ Styles can take and how well he could blend with Brock Lesnar. I mean, Seth Rollins is not, Seth Rollins is kind of similar in some ways as AJ Styles, which would be another fantasy idea, but I'm not going to get into that. But, yeah, that would be I think it's going to be a good match between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, but I think this would be a hell of a lot better match and well-built match in comparison with Seth Rollins and Brock. This match with AJ and Brock Lesnar would be built into a better situation. Brock Lesnar would be looking more like the underdog than this badass dude who's gonna destroy and rip apart Seth Rollins. And that's kind of what Seth Rollins needed, more of a better faction than what he's got now. Wow, that didn't come out right. He should have the reason why this is not looking great is because Seth Rollins doesn't have a better faction than what he has. Is what I think would make this match even better if he had a better faction. AJ Styles has that type of faction that would make AJ Styles get over on Brock Lesnar. But the way this match is with Seth Rollins, it ain't gonna work. And it's probably gonna be shitty for them if they make Seth Rollins win the match altogether. But that's pretty much all I have to say on this subject. I think that, again, AJ Styles would be a better opponent for Brock Lesnar than Seth Rollins because of his wrestling capabilities, but they're very similar in some ways. But then also, the faction that AJ Styles has is a way better faction than Seth Rollins. And I guess you could say that I was trying to do a comparison between Seth and AJ Styles for Brock Lesnar because of the fact of how similar in some ways Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are. But at this time, leave your comments and opinions down below on this video. I will get right back to you guys, and you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you, and have a great night, guys. Bye.